Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and found your cat staring at you? Not just lying there, not just sleeping, but watching you. Still, silent, focused, almost like they're trying to understand something about you or maybe tell you something you're not hearing. Because here's the truth most cat owners never realize. When your cat chooses to sleep with you, it's not random. It's not just comfort, and it's definitely not just warmth. It's communication. A quiet, instinctive, deeply emotional message that most humans completely miss. And once you understand what your cat is actually saying in those moments, you'll never look at them the same way again. So, tonight, when your cat curls up beside you, or presses their body against yours, or even claims your pillow like it belongs to them, you might start to notice something strange, something intentional, something personal, because your cat isn't just sleeping. They're telling you a story, and it begins with something far deeper than affection. It begins with trust, but not the kind of trust you think. See, in the wild, sleep is the most dangerous moment in a cat's life. It's when they are most vulnerable, when their senses are lowered, when a single mistake could mean everything. So cats evolved to be extremely selective about where and with whom they sleep. They don't just lie down anywhere. They don't just relax next to anyone. They choose very carefully, which means when your cat chooses you, your bed, your space, they're making a decision rooted in survival. Think about that for a second. Out of every possible place in your home, every corner, every hidden spot, every quiet surface, they choose to sleep next to a giant, unpredictable human who moves, breathes, turns, and makes noise in the night. Why? Because to them, you are safe, not just comfortable. Safe enough to let their guard down completely. Safe enough to enter deep sleep. Safe enough to trust with their life. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Because your cat doesn't just trust you as a person. They trust you as part of their environment, their territory, their world. To your cat, you're not separate from their space. You are their space. And when they sleep next to you, they're not just seeking comfort. They're anchoring themselves to the safest point in their universe, you. But there's another layer to this, something most people completely overlook. Have you noticed where your cat chooses to sleep? Next to your head, on your chest, at your feet? That position isn't random either. It's strategic. If your cat sleeps near your head, it's often because that's where your scent is strongest. Your breath, your hair, your natural smell. To a cat, scent is everything. It's how they identify safety, familiarity, and emotional connection. So when they curl up near your face, they're surrounding themselves with your scent, almost like they're saying, "This is where I belong." But if your cat sleeps on your chest, that means something entirely different. It means they're syncing with you, your heartbeat, your breathing, your rhythm. This is something kittens do with their mothers. They listen, they feel, they regulate themselves through that connection. So when your adult cat lies on your chest, pressing their body against yours, they're not just being affectionate. They're reliving one of the earliest forms of emotional security they've ever known. And somehow, you've become that source. But what about when your cat sleeps at your feet? That one confuses a lot of people. It feels distant, less emotional, almost like they're choosing space over closeness. But in reality, it's the opposite. Sleeping at your feet is a protective position. From there, your cat has a clear view of the room, a quick escape route if needed, and a way to guard the entrance to your shared space. In other words, they're watching over you, quietly, instinctively, almost like a silent guardian. And here's something most people never notice. If your cat changes where they sleep depending on your mood, that's not coincidence. Cats are incredibly sensitive to emotional shifts. They pick up on your tone, your body language, even subtle changes in your breathing. So if you've had a stressful day, or you're feeling low, or something just feels off, your cat knows. And sometimes they respond by getting closer, sleeping nearer to your chest, your face, your hands, not because they need comfort, but because you do. And this is where things start to feel almost unbelievable. Because what if your cat isn't just reacting to your emotions? What if they're trying to regulate them? There's growing evidence that the presence of a cat, especially during sleep, can actually lower stress levels, their warmth, their steady breathing, even the soft vibration of their purring. All of it sends signals to your nervous system, signals that say, you're safe, you can relax, you can rest, and your body responds. Your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, your mind becomes quieter. But here's the part that makes it feel almost intentional. Cats don't purr randomly. They purr for specific reasons. And one of those reasons is healing. Not just for themselves, but for others. The frequency of a cat's purr has been shown to promote relaxation, reduce stress, and even support physical healing. So when your cat curls up next to you and starts purring softly as you fall asleep, it's not just a comforting sound, it's a signal, a message, almost like they're saying, I'm here, you're okay, sleep. And maybe, just maybe, they're doing it on purpose, but there's still something deeper happening here, something instinctual, something ancient, because when your cat sleeps with you, they're not just bonding, they're claiming, not in a possessive way, but in a territorial, identity-based way. Cats use scent to mark what belongs to them, and when they sleep on you, rub against you, need your blanket, or even your body, they're leaving their scent behind, mixing it with yours, creating a shared identity, a shared space, a shared connection. It's their way of saying, this human is mine. And before you think that sounds one-sided, consider this. You've probably started to recognize your cat's scent, too. That subtle, familiar smell that makes you feel calm. At home, connected. So, in a way, you've both marked each other. You just don't realize it. Now, here's a question most people never ask. What happens when your cat suddenly stops sleeping with you? At first, it might seem like nothing. Maybe they found a new spot. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe they're just being a cat, but sometimes it means something more. Cats are creatures of habit, and when they change those habits, there's always a reason. It could be physical discomfort, a shift in their environment, or even a subtle change in your behavior or emotional state. So if your cat suddenly chooses distance, it's worth paying attention. Not with worry, but with awareness. Because just like when they come closer, when they move away, they're still communicating, still telling you something. And here's the part that might surprise you the most. Your cat doesn't see you the way you think. You're not just their owner. You're not just the one who feeds them. To your cat, you are something much closer to family, but not in a human way, in a feline way. They treat you like another cat, a larger, slightly strange, but deeply trusted member of their group. That's why they groom you sometimes, why they headbutt you, why they slow blink at you. And yes, why they sleep with you. Because in the world of cats, sleeping together is one of the strongest signs of social bonding. It's reserved for those they trust the most, those they feel safe around, those they consider theirs. And that brings us to something important, something most people overlook because it feels so simple. But it's actually one of the most meaningful parts of this entire connection. Your cat chooses you every single night. They don't have to. They could sleep anywhere. They could hide, isolate, or stay distant. But they don't. They come back again and again, and that choice says everything. Now, if you've ever wondered whether your cat truly loves you, or if they're just tolerating you. This is your answer, because love, in a cat's language, isn't loud. It's not obvious. It doesn't look like a dog wagging its tail or jumping with excitement. It's quiet, subtle, intentional. It looks like a small, warm body curling up next to yours in the dark, trusting you enough to fall asleep. And if you're starting to see your cat differently right now, if you're realizing that what seemed like a simple habit is actually something much deeper, then you're not alone. Most people miss this. They go years without understanding what their cat is really telling them. So before we go further, take a moment. Think about your cat, where they sleep, how they position themselves when they choose to be close. Because once you start noticing these patterns, you can't unsee them. And if you're enjoying uncovering these hidden behaviors, this silent language your cat uses every day, make sure you stay with me, because what we're about to uncover next might completely change the way you respond to your cat, starting tonight. Now, let's talk about something that feels small, but reveals a lot. Movement during sleep. Have you ever noticed your cat twitching, their paws moving, like they're running, their whiskers flicking, ears shifting, tiny sounds escaping? It looks like dreaming, and it is, but it's also something more. During these moments, your cat is in a deep state of vulnerability, completely immersed in their inner world, and yet they stay next to you. They don't retreat to a hidden corner. They don't isolate themselves. They remain close, which means even in their most unguarded state, they feel safe with you. But here's something even more fascinating. Sometimes your cat will wake up suddenly, look at you, and then go right back to sleep. That quick glance, that's not random. It's a check-in, a reassurance, a silent confirmation that everything is still okay, that you're still there, that their world hasn't changed. And once they confirm that, they relax again. That tiny moment says more than most people realize, because it shows that your presence isn't just comforting. It's grounding, stabilizing, essential. And now, let's go one level deeper, because everything we've talked about so far leads to one powerful realization. Your cat isn't just sharing your bed. They're sharing your emotional space. They're syncing with you in ways that go beyond what we can easily see. Your rhythms, your moods, your energy. And over time, this creates something rare, a bond that doesn't rely on words, a connection that exists in silence, in presence, in trust. So tonight, when your cat jumps onto your bed, when they circle a few times, settle in and press themselves gently against you. Don't just see it as a habit. See it for what it really is, a message, a choice, a connection. Because in their own quiet way, your cat is telling you something most humans spend their entire lives trying to hear. You are safe with me too. And maybe that's why they keep coming back, night after night. Not just to sleep, but to stay close to the one place they truly feel at home. You.